When we win, we get it back, then we take it on back to a ladder so unbalanced. It's the Masochist challenge.
Hello and welcome into the episode. I believe at the end of the last episode I may have said that I only had 4 duels remaining or wins remaining in gold to get to platinum once again. That was a lie. I have no idea what I was thinking there. I need 8 wins to get through gold tier 2 and gold tier 1, so that's basically the goal for this session. Hopefully, if things go well, I might have a little time for platinum gaming after that. But anyway, I'll see you in the duels. Okay, loading in, going first. Honestly, the coin toss has been pretty generous. It's just every deck I've seen so far this session has been a meta strategy. But we'll see what we can do here. See if we can draw a card. Into Click and Echo. Little unfortunate there. Okay. Not much, but maybe drawing off of Viperia and floodgating with Mistake will at least keep me in the duel. Well, well, well. Looks like I will be floodgating after all. Impulse. Sure. Just keeps me off of a draw. Pendulum Summon. Goodbye, everybody. End phase. Okay. It's a shame that I haven't really drawn into anything to really extend. They are going to be able to pendulum back one of those monsters. So we need something that can withstand... You know what? I have just the idea. Stick with me. Silahat Rabbit. And then we're going to be sneaky little guys and set Prey of the Jirai Gumo in the column with the EMZ that they will be penduluming to. I like that idea very much. There's that guy. Okay. They've got 2 monsters. I think I will kill this guy. They can normal summon something. Let's pop the gate. And that'll be good. Well, that was single-handedly won off of Mistake, but, you know, a slightly clever play, if I do say so myself. Remembering Prey of the Jirai Gumo can just pop in the EMZ. So, I mean, it's not like it was completely skill-free. Tearlaments Sulliak. Good card, obviously. I don't have any Tearlaments monsters, but if I can get some of those, that maybe contributes to some kind of mill or other strategy at some point. Batteryman D, your opponent cannot select a Thunder-type monster you control as an attack target, except Batteryman D. Sure, for sure. Ooh, Fiendish Chain. Activate this card by targeting an effect monster on the field. Negate the effects of that face-up monster while it is on the field. Also, that face-up monster cannot attack. When it is destroyed, destroy this card. You know, I kind of have the archetypal version of this card with my Fog Blade, but this is certainly still a very good card, and just having effect negation that is on demand, like I'm currently running Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. This, you could argue, is actually just a slightly better version of that, because it doesn't have to necessarily be a special summon monster. But honestly, I might just play both, because Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare, they can't like pop their own monster with Fallen the Virtuous or whatever in order to dodge the effect negation, which they would be able to with Fiendish Chain. Anyway, a lot of yapping, but both good cards. Ooh, another danger. Honestly, I'll take as many dangers as I can get. Pretty decent. Sun Avalon, Dryades, not my first of that. A decent rank 7. Nice. Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. Once per turn, if you have exactly 5 dark monsters in your graveyard, you can also Xyz summon this guy by using a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon. You can detach a material from this card, then target a card your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish one card from your graveyard. Also, this card cannot attack for the rest of this turn. You might notice that second one didn't say once per turn, didn't say you can only use. So if this thing has 2 materials, 2 pops. Pretty decent card. You know, people run that in Kashtira, for example. Dark Bishop Archfiend and DDD First King Clovis, one of the newer ones. Generic materials. If this card is Synchro Summoned, you can target one of your banished DD monsters, or if Dark Contract card is on the field, you can target one in your graveyard instead, special summon it. If this card is banished, you can activate this effect if your DD monster attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Probably not usable, unfortunately, even though the materials are generic. I just would have to be on a huge critical mass of decent DD and DDD cards. But pretty strong pack to start with. Tier Elements may be good down the road in some kind of mill pile. Fiendish Chain, Danger, and Dark Armed, like those are all really quality low rarity stuff. Let's keep on going. Going second this time, and the hand is potentially playable. I mean, we've got some going second tools. Ooh, Sky Striker. If they activate Linkage, there is a chance, or Hornet Drones. I mean, they might concede just off of this. Good luck getting 3 spells in grave. Hope you've got... The Even Fallen the Virtuous doesn't do it. It has to send a graveyard as cost. They might have a Widow in hand. Kagari bring back the Engage. Ah, there's a Widow. Well, you know, went 1 for 1 on that. They had to waste a Widow Anchor, which is not nothing. And if they don't get rid of my Retaliating, then on their turn, it's going to be a Macrocosmos all over again. Adding another Linkage. Okay. Sending away the 0. For Amatsu. Link into Camellia, into... Oh. Okay. Certainly showing the importance of patience. I mean, that person had the cards in hand to, you know, walk away with that duel almost certainly, but they kind of rage quit after playing their turn wrong. Anyway, let's see what we get. Gruesome Grave Squirmer. If you control a fiend monster, specials this card, then destroy a Yubel or a monster that mentions it. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a fiend monster with 0 attack or defense from your hand or graveyard, except Gruesome Grave Squirmer. Considering that I have the Nightmare continuous spell, and now I also have the Contact Fusion sort of extra deck Yubel monster, this is almost shaping up into like a real package. I just don't have any of the actual named Yubel monsters. Vicious Claw. The equipped monster gains 300 attack. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle, return this card to the hand instead, then destroy one monster, except the one that battled the equipped monster, and if you do, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Then special summon one evil token to your opponent's field. That's a big token though, 2500, 2500. During the turn this card is returned to your hand, you cannot use Vicious Claw from your hand. Interesting card, obviously mostly for like Evil Eye, I assume, but I don't think it goes in the deck for me. Vision Release, a Vision Hero card. A new one, the Zombie Free Agent, Officiating Reverie. If this card is in your hand, you can discard one other card, special summon this card. Great start. If an Xyz monster is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon a zombie monster from your graveyard. During the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished, you can target a zombie Xyz you control, attach this banished card to it. So, obviously meant to work with like the Pump King stuff. Most of this effect text I would not be able to use, but just being able to discard to special it from hand puts it kind of head and shoulders above a lot of the monsters in my collection. Like if I ever want to hope to do like a rank 6 or whatever. Prank Kids Fansies. I don't think I have a lot of Prank Kids stuff, but that's an interesting card to see if we get some critical mass of those kind of cards. Another Infinitrack Mountain Smasher. Maybe this is the rank 7 episode. Jirai Protops. And Marincest Circulation, a trap I already had. Interesting pack with the Reverie and the Gruesome Grave Squirmer. Nothing that I can throw in the deck right this minute, though. So we keep on grinding. Okay, going first, and the hand is stuff. The hand is certainly stuff. Maybe I can fiend an Ash Blossom off of Hyperia. No response, actually. So then the only thing stopping Fusion Destiny is an Impulse. Nice, nice. Technically have a pop with the Statue of Anguish pattern as well. Setting the Dynamish just for eventually when I can use it, or technically if I pop it with DPE and then use the trap cards, I can make Gigantic Sprite. Just in case you were wondering why I didn't keep a discard. Trade in. Stinky, Nebula Dragon. Yeah, probably pop that, right? Nebula Dragon in hand. Showing the Afterglow. Well, this is fun. I get to pop both of those. This is working out better than I could have imagined. And they probably still have enough extension in hand that it won't matter. But whatever. In addition to my pops, I get, you know, a towers. Because the paleos are unaffected by monster effects. So there. New chain statue. They've already normaled. Do they have like the galaxy? Okay, there we go. Basically took a custom hand to stop them from playing, but you know, sometimes you sack your opponent. What can I say? Galaxy Trance, hilarious, given the deck we just beat. Magical Undertaker, a level 2 flip monster. You can target a level 4 or lower spellcaster monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. Not great, just, you know, on a flip effect. Imprudent Intrusion. Your life points must be lower than your opponent's to activate, and to resolve this effect, activate one of these effects. So either destroy one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the difference in life points, or special summon a monster from your graveyard with attack less than or equal to the difference in life points. I mean, you know, if your opponent is hitting in, they've got 8k, you've got obviously less life points at that point, then you can destroy it or reborn. That's not bad, honestly. I might consider playing this. The downside, obviously, is if you are in a winning position, this does not help you stay in a winning position unless you can reliably pay life points, which I don't think... I guess with the Thunder Monster, I will occasionally pay 3k. So that's maybe a consideration. Anyway. Whoa! That is kind of nutty. Tearlament's Havness, and I just pulled the Tearlament's Trap earlier, and many episodes ago I pulled the continuous spell that mills 3 when you normal or special summon, or anyone normal or special summons while a Tearlament's is on the field. Wow. I'm gonna have to see if I have any valid fusion targets, because that would really put a bow on the whole thing. I don't think I will, but just having those 3 cards means that anytime I pick up a fusion target, or if I get into a mill strategy, like the effect in hand to special itself and send top 3 is already pretty good. Wow. That's like insane. Sylvan Komushumo, Recovery Sorcerer, what are you? 2 Cyberus monsters. Quick effect, you can target a Cyberus Link monster in your graveyard that was destroyed this turn. Special summon it, but it has its effects negated. Also, destroy it during the end phase. Yeah. Okay. Something to consider for the Cyberus pile. Maybe there's a way to abuse that into more Link fodder. Just like intentionally destroy something, bring it back for some kind of benefit. Not sure. Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. You know, one of the inclusions in the hero deck for sure. When it's normal summon, target a level 4 or lower hero monster in your graveyard. Except Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier, special summon it. If this card is used as fusion material for a hero monster and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Interesting. I obviously don't think I have enough cards to do any like hero plays, and it's not a valid target for Fusion Destiny. But interesting pickup. And a Yusenjo Shinchu L, one of the small pendulums. But never mind all of that, because Tearlament's Havness. Wow. Crazy pickup. Real quick, just poking around in the collection, and I found exactly one valid target for Havness in my collection, which is Borreload Fatal Flare Dragon. Takes a Dark Link monster and the Dark monster, so Havness would be the Dark monster. And then I would have to feed it either the SP or like Codebreaker, some Dark Link monster. Maybe I would include others. And it's, you know, it's not the worst card. If it's fusion summoned, you add a rocket. You can target a dark monster you control, equip it with a Dark Link monster from your graveyard. in order to boost its attack, and if it's sent to the graveyard as link material, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. So maybe there's some kind of synergy if I get on some kind of Dark and Light Dragon, like mill pile kind of stuff. Not really sure. Mostly it would be an enabler for mill, but if I ever get a Tearlament's fusion monster, obviously that'll be insane. But anyway, just wanted to report back with my research. If anyone watching this has other ideas, I'm all open to it. Loading in for the potential rank up duel to gold 1, and the hand is, you know, pretty decent. They have Asher Impulse. That's gonna suck, but I can maybe keep them staved off for a bit. There's the Ash. Time to set my hand and hope for the best. Ooh, Blackwing is going to be kind of crazy. Let's go ahead and chalice that. I'd rather Fiendish Chain on something that I don't want attacking me either. Setting one. Okay, they can special. Fair enough. End phase. Get this Tiki Curse out of a potential imperm zone. I guess we are just on control the board with beatdown. Some kind of hold there. Maybe it's Kaloop. Oh yeah, Tiki Curse effect. Not necessary in that instance, but kind of funny to see it actually activate. I honestly think they're on few enough cards that I leave it here and use Fiendish Chain. Maybe I'm wrong for doing so. We'll find out. Pot of Desires off the top. I mean, Fusion Destiny is already gone. Maybe it's an Ash Blossom in hand. I guess not. Statue of Anguish pattern, very interesting. Try for more damage. Gonna go for Silhouette Rabbit because it is a spell trap pop. There's one imperm down. Curious what the other card is. Could be a called by, I guess, but okay, with any luck, they'll be bricked on stuff. A card that places has to place from deck. Okay, there it is. We're ranking up into Gold Tier 1 by defeating Blackwing. One Verte Anaconda, please. That would really make my Fusion Destiny a whole lot better. Okay, DDD, Super Doom King, Bright Armageddon. When I was talking about DDDs earlier, I did not mean this guy. There's no way I can never make this guy. Lilla Wrap. If you special summon a monster from the graveyard, you can make your opponent lose 1,000 life, and if they do, you gain 500. Ooh, did I just unlock a new win condition, which is just Sprite Elf, cycle back Hyperia, draw a card, burn the opponent? Maybe. Hamburger Recipe, Mitsurugi Tempest, my second Mitsurugi card because I have Kusanagi too. This is not the good trap card though. This is the one where you have to have all three of the ritual monsters on the field. A second Dynamicious. Wow. That probably goes in the deck. I mean, great removal, you know, banishes instead of destroys, and comes back as a level 2 in order to make Gigantic Sprite on the next turn or whatever. Pretty darn good. Psychroid, not very darn good, but it is an Earth Machine. If you think about it, get on Primite Earth Machine. Plunder Patrol Sea Guide, not my first of those. Okay. I mean, the pack's already great because it has Dynamicious, but let's see what the last card is. Servant of Endymion. This card, at least in some formats, has been like limited previously, because it just does so much for its own strategy. But whoops, scroll wheel, sorry. But in my case, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with this. The pendulum effect: each time a spell card is activated, place a spell counter on this card. When that spell resolves, you can remove 3 spell counters from this card, special summon both this card from your pendulum zone and a monster from your deck with 1,000 or more attack that you can place a spell counter on, and if you do, place 1 spell counter on each. I may have the level 7 Endymion, that's a super rare, not the main boss monster, and you know, I guess this is more generic than I gave it credit for, because it's any monster you can put a spell counter on. So I don't know, it's maybe playable if you get on a deck that does enough spells. On the field, once per opponent's turn, you can discard a card, place a spell counter on each card you control that you can place a spell counter on, and if it's destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, then place the same number of spell counters on it that it had as a monster. So, strong card for like Endymion, obviously. I'll have to go search if my collection has enough cards where you can like place a spell counter on it. Either way, Dynamicious is crazy as always. Quick swap over to the deck view here. Because I have another Dynamicious, I am removing Clear New World. It just very often is a card that I don't feel like activating because I don't have the other pieces in hand to make it do anything. So that one's going out of the deck, and then the second Dynamicious is going in. Also, just to check back in on the spell counter thing, I have Servant, of course, that you just saw that I pulled. The other Endymion card that you can place a spell counter on that I have is Magister. I actually have 2 of these. You know, it's possible I could do something with this. They're both level 3, funny enough, so, you know, they could make a rank 3, oddly enough. Or go into Cherubini if I ever pulled that. But that is kind of the best target. I don't have the other Endymion card that I thought I did, so nothing we can do with Servant at the moment, but certainly something I'll try to keep an eye on for later. Back to the duels. Okay, well, loading in, going first, and I have pulled both Dynamicious. This really doesn't combo. Soul Scissors does have an effect to bring itself back from the graveyard. I think I'm actually setting both Dynamicious and hopefully activating one after the other, and then hopefully the copy that comes back from the graveyard I can use to Xyz with Soul Scissors. We'll see. Oh my. I unfortunately have to let that go. Grabbing the punishment. Ooh, it's a Dogmatica stun. Well, that makes things a little more doable. They gonna search the last Morganite? I guess not. Get out of here. Feels bad bricking my DPE, but there's no way I'm giving up Moon Mirror Shield in that situation. So the question is, are these all floodgates? This does open myself up to Dogmatica punishments. Warning. Okay, well, and they don't take the damage. If I flip this thing up, they just do Dogmatica punishment and get into engine at that point. So I'm actually going to leave it face down so that they can't do that. Okay, gonna search the other Morganite card and put one back. Adding the Guilt Gripping. They've already activated that one, so that's a little strange. Maybe they're not on the original Morganite. Let's Dynamicious again. And we will bring back the Paleo. They will Impulse. I would think they would love to see a Paleo on the field so they can use punishment, but fair enough, I guess. Alright, we know Morganite in hand. Tiki Piece. I'm gonna keep playing around the Dogmatica punishment. I don't know how I stop them from actually getting punishment off. Eventually I have to start playing. Setting another trap. We do love to see it. Okay, well, Pot of Desires, pretty good. They can solemn it, but they, you know, we know they don't have hand traps. Okay. I will set a bunch and wait one more turn. Tiki Curse, pretty useful. Tiki Piece can bring it back. Bring back any continuous trap card. So if they Natis, hopefully they don't hit the Tiki Piece. End phase. Okay. Time to start playing the game, I guess. Get the Dynamicious. Sending Master of Ham. That is insanely based. Wow. Let's Ginormous. Strike. Oh, Song of the Dominator. Okay. So currently we've got 28, 47, 65, 83. They can Impulse. I guess let's play into whatever this back row is. Not seeing... Does Morganite stop them from using traps from hand? No, just monster effects. Wonder why Impulse doesn't work here. Well, okay. I don't know why Impulse doesn't stop it, but there's the duel. For defeating Dogmatica, Morganite, Stun, Dominus stuff. Verte Anaconda, please. Salamandra with Chain. Target a fire monster on the field. Equip it. And then you can change an effect monster on the field to face down defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon a fire warrior or dragon fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck, but destroy it during the end phase. I mean, I mentioned that I'm starting to brew like a fire warrior type thing, so technically this would work with that. I would get to equip to a fire monster and then Book of Moon, an effect monster of my opponent's ideally, and then getting to banish to fusion summon a fire warrior or dragon. Certainly interesting. I don't know that I have any good targets there, but overall not a terrible card. Gimmick Puppet Shadow Feeler. Majestic Mirage, what are you? A Stardust Dragon card? Okay, well, if I ever pull Stardust Dragon, I'll go back and read its support cards. Not going to use that right now, obviously. Kawakimaru Ice. Swift Gaia the Fierce Knight. Satellar Knight Alsam. If this card is summoned, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. I mean, if I can loop that, that's sort of a win condition. Somehow just continually summon that once per turn and then bounce it or something. Metamorphormation. Metal foes, monsters you control gain 300 attack defense. While a metal foes card is in your pendulum zone, metal foes monsters you control, except effect monsters, are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Kind of like the Tenyi field spell. So if you have the metal foes, normal monsters, they become unaffected. You don't often see this field spell played, even in metal foes. At least, I don't think you do. Interesting card. If I can pull a lot of metal foes stuff, that'd be fun to play. Last card, Xyz Encore. Famous for being the only out to Rongominiad, but not really played outside of that. You know, Salamandra with Chain, little Book of Moon at home, not bad, but mostly one to grow on. Let's keep on going through Gold Tier 1. Okay, well, I'm going first. The coin toss has been fairly generous this session, I gotta say. The hand does hot nothing, though. Okay, I think, yeah. We just set our trap cards. I was just thinking about if I want to pitch the DPE brick or the retaliating. Probably the DPE brick. The odds that I pull Fusion Destiny as a top deck, pretty low. Burning Bamboo Sword. Sure. They're gonna lock me out of my main phase 1 next turn. A lot of set cards behind that Makonko. Battle phase, flip my card face up. Maybe one of the cards in the back row is the card that equips my monster to theirs. I'm mostly going to banish their Makonko because I think if they get to activate that trap card, even if they lose the target, my monster still leaves the field. I've had that happen in past duels. Okay, now we have to make a choice. My choice is to leave Retaliating Sea in hand. Let's do it this way, try to maximize the damage, and then I'll link into something else next turn. I think they're kind of stuck because they don't have their their Makonko monster on field, so probably nothing they have is live. If they can normal summon a Makonko next turn, maybe that's the last card in hand, then we might be in trouble. Normal code generator. The person's name is in Japanese. Is this a bot? I mean, I saw the bamboo sword and the Makonko, and I thought we were facing a coherent strategy, but maybe not. There's no reason a human player would do that, right? TT off the top, pretty good. I guess I'm just going to start playing as though they don't have anything, because that is what they've shown me so far. So hopefully wrap this one pretty quickly if this is in fact a bot. Oh, battle phase. Battle phase with nothing. Very bot-like behavior. Okay, so as long as that last card is nothing, we can wrap this up pretty quickly. Retaliating in, and SP to finish things up. Let's go collect our pack. Thank you, Mr. Robot. Okay, come on. Low rarity sprite stuff. High rarity sprite stuff. Sky Palace Gangaridai. A rank 10 machine. You can detach material from this card, then target a card your opponent controls, destroy that target, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Interesting. And I say interesting, you know, this is a fine enough card, you know, it pops and inflicts damage, but I pulled Lieb a while back, which I think requires a rank 10 machine, unless I'm mistaken. So this is not the usual rank 10 machine you would go for, and obviously you can't go for it if you're locked into Earth Machine by a different card, but just having this bridge, pretty crazy. Now technically I would need to have level 10 monsters to go into this, but I think Lord of the Heavenly Prison is one of them, so it's not inconceivable that I could find another one. But, you know, having a rank 10 up to a rank 11 package sounds pretty crazy. Great pull though, regardless. Magician's combination, also fine, I guess, if I ever pull a Dark Magician. Goki Bear Hug, Chemicritter Oxyox, a second Concentrating Current, sure. Maybe I can put together some kind of OTK kind of thing with this. It's not once per turn, so multiple copies is fine. But other monsters can't attack, so it would have to be some kind of way that I can boost a monster up to like insanely high levels. Ebon Illusion Magician, speaking of Dark Magician, pretty funny. Technically the materials are generic, or you can use a rank 6 spellcaster if that would ever in fact happen. You can detach material from this card, special summon a spellcaster normal monster. It doesn't have to be Dark Magician. When a spellcaster normal monster declares an attack, you can target a card your opponent controls, banish it. So, I mean, if I just include a normal spellcaster of any level, and I happen to be on a whole lot of 7s, this is technically playable. And with the Dark Arm Dragon Xyz from earlier, maybe I should really look into what 7s I have. Alright, and last card, ooh, another Regenesis card. I had Regenesis Warrior, now I have Regenesis Dragon. So as with most of the Regenesis monsters, if a monster with 2500 original attack or defense is on the field, you can special summon it. And then, quick effect, you can tribute this card, target a spell trap your opponent controls, banish it. And then during your opponent's end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add this card to your hand. Pretty decent. There's you know, not enough like 2500 stuff, I think, in my collection. But with the Regenesis Warrior in this one, it is certainly starting to look pretty tantalizing. And the Regenesis stuff, if I can mill on my opponent's turn, it could also technically maybe go in the mill deck, because at the end of the opponent's turn, they'll come on back to hand. All right, some pretty cool stuff in that pack, and only 2 more victories until I'm in Platinum. All right, loading in, going first. Our opponent's on 40 and 14. Their name is just a bunch of letters. They've got the default stuff, so I'm a little worried it's another bot. But I do have Potato Fusion Destiny, which I do want to show off the synergy there, meaning I can destroy Potato. Quite the synergy. Okay. Third summon, Sprite Elf. Fourth summon, Fusion Destiny. So I won't even play into Nibiru. This has been one of the highest ceiling hands that I've had this entire session, and I'm a little worried that it's against a bot, so it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, let's see what we're up against. Normal summon Magical Exemplar. Okay, well, sounds like you're gonna use some magic, so I'm gonna get a carrot that don't like magic. Adamantipator Friends. Showing a whole lot of nonsense. Spriggan's Kit, Brandon Bond, Lilla Wrap, Dogmatica Encounter, and Whitestone of Legend. There's no way this is real. No rock monsters, by the way. I think this locks you. You cannot special summon monsters except rock monsters. The key question is, can the bot resolve Adamantipator Friends? Can it actually finish the effect, or is it going to quit out right now? That is the meta. Do we have a bot that is smart enough to shuffle back, or put him on the bottom of the deck as per Friends' request? Nope, not smart enough. All right, for defeating the smartest bot on Master Duel, looks like we will be getting at least one shiny card. Time Engine, a max Metal Morph card. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, target one of those monsters, special summon it. Then, if you special summon a level 5 or higher machine monster by this effect, and have a Metal Morph trap on your field or graveyard, except this card on the field, you can apply this effect. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, then you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that special summon monster's original attack. Pretty decent one-off for the Metal Morph deck. Let me have another read of that first effect. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, target one of those monsters, special summon it. Then, if you special summon a level 5 or higher machine monster by this effect and have it blah 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 blah, you can apply this effect. So, sounds like you can do the latter half of the effect, but even if you don't meet the conditions, you can still target a monster destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect and special summon it. Like, that's pretty decent just by itself, no? I'm pretty sure that just reads as Trap Card Monster Reborn, assuming your monster gets destroyed. Pretty decent. White Ninja, a flip monster to destroy a defense position monster on the field. Dark Magic Expanded, another Dark Magician card. Leotron, a normal Cyberse, 2000 attack, big fella. Not terrible, just to have as like a normal monster. Ooh, Mystical Space Typhoon. Wow. I think I maybe have pulled a Radiant Typhoon card. I'll have to go check that, but just having easy peasy spell trap removal. Like right now I'm running whatever it's called, the Galaxy card, that when you first use it has to pop a set card, and then from the graveyard on the next turn can pop a face-up card. This can take that one's place easily. That is such an insanely good pull. Vendred Charge, Time Thief Flyback, not my first there, and I technically do have Time Thief Redoer, so target a Time Thief Xyz monster you control, attach a Time Thief card from your hand or deck to it as material. If I run this in multiple, then I can just attach another Time Thief Flyback. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Time Thief Xyz monster you control, attach a card from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. So in the graveyard, it becomes like kind of weird DD Crow. Decent enough. Obviously, currently I'm not making Redoer consistently enough that I should be including like archetypal cards for him, but interesting to have it in multiples. Let's see what this last card is. What? I just get it? I just get the Link monster? Okay. Radiant Typhoon Varoon, the Marine Eidolon. I think most people probably have seen this, but anyway, if it's Link summoned, you can add an MST from deck or graveyard to hand. You can target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including a Radiant Typhoon you control. Place them face-up in their owner's spell and trap zones as continuous spells. And then if a quick play spell card is activated, you can place the continuous trap from deck or graveyard face-up on your field. I think I actually have the continuous trap. What I don't have are 2 Radiant Typhoon monsters to link off into this thing. But that is in a single pack. I mean, if we're just looking, I would have just been happy with Time Engine. And instead, we also got MST, you know, maybe a Time Thief trap card I might use at some point, and the Link monster to go with the MST. Like, that is insane. This has been an insane session, getting like 2 Tearlaments cards and now 2 essentially Radiant Typhoon cards. Holy crap. I'm gonna go check the collection again to see if I have any other Radiant Typhoon monsters. I don't think I do, but that is so crazy. Loading in, going second, and the opponent's on 57. Endymion's Lab. Okay. Oh lord. Getting the Jackal King. I guess we'll see if they can actually combo off. Specialing out the Master Cerberus from the extra. Upstart Goblin. I'm loving that we're seeing that they are comboing off on 57 cards. That's really fun. Oh hey, if it isn't Servant of Endymion, huh? End phase, okay. I guess I will just pop their monster and pop Servant, and then I win? Yeah? Okay. Failed to read Master Cerberus, but I won't make that mistake again. As in, I just happen to have another interaction. Set and pass. Fair enough. I guess I'll just battle with Jirai Gumo. Oh wow, I could actually make a rank 7 with this hand. If Jirai Gumo is not big enough, I've got Chalice. Okay, so now let's convert and start building up more of a game plan. Oh, it's 2, 3, and then 4 is gonna give me the rabbit. That way I've got another pop with the statue, and the rabbit will pop in Dimian's lab. And if they want a special to the extra, they're gonna have to deal with Jirai Gumo. And that is good enough for them. Good enough for me too. Okay, and with that, we rank up into Platinum Tier 5 once again. Let's head over to the Legacy Packs and then the final Master Pack. Alright, 20 Legacy Packs this time, and plenty of stuff in there that could be good. I'm still waiting on Compulsory Evacuation Device. I'd love to see more Wake Cups. Who knows? Maybe a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay. Well, we've got a Barrier Statue of the Torrent. That is great for stun, obviously. Masked Beast, funny. Kododama, funny. Axe of Fools. The equipped monster gains 1,000 attack. Also, its effects are negated. Once per turn during a standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the controller of the equipped monster. Pretty decent if I was on, like, stall, where the opponent can't attack. Also sees some play in like Mikanko, because it raises the attack, negates the effects, so obvious synergy there. Another card here, Soul Levy. This is sometimes used in like cheesy like mill strategies, like if you have this one and you have the Skull trap card that burns whenever cards go to the graveyard, every special summon becomes 900 damage to the opponent. So that's kind of a funny one to see there. What else are we seeing? Capacitor Stalker, a Cyberse. Is this any good? When this card is normal summoned, but it's a level 5, you can target one other Cyberse monster you control. While this face-up monster is on the field, that monster gains 800. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, each player takes 800. Nope, that's really bad. That is extremely bad. Insect Knight, good if I ever get Giant Ballpark. I'll want to see multiples of that. And Acrobat Monkey, just an Earth Machine normal. What else? Changing Destiny, is this one any good? When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, change it to defense position, and it cannot change its position while it is face up on the field. Sounds pretty decent for a stall. Then your opponent chooses one of these effects. You, the opponent of this card's activator, gain life points, or your opponent, the activator of this card, takes damage equal to half the target's attack. Another stall card is Child's Play. Each time your opponent summons a monster, gain 300, and your monsters can't be destroyed by battle while you have 10,000 or more life points. So if you can get on some kind of skill drain plus this, then you're pretty golden as far as stall goes. All right, coming back to this though, Gem Knight Fusion. Fusion summon a Gem Knight Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. And then if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a Gem Knight monster from your graveyard, add this card to your hand. I will have to go back through the collection to see if I actually have any Gem Knight Fusions. I can't recall any. But that is obviously the best archetypal card here in this pack. I just don't know if I actually have any of the cards that make this work, any of the actual targets. Okay, pretty decent as far as legacy pack pulls go. Let's carry on to the final master pack. Okay, last pack of the day, and honestly, even if I don't pull a single playable card, I cannot in any way complain. A lot of good generic cards like Mystical Space Typhoon and a lot of interesting archetypal cards today. What do we get to wrap it up? Yurgi Armor, Earth Machine, I suppose. Sunvine Gardena, not my first of those. Takes a plant normal monster. Sure. Second Fuma Wave. Triamid Dancer. Magnum Shield, what are you? Equip only to a warrior. In attack position, it gains attack equal to its defense, and in defense position, it gains defense equal to its attack. Got it. Agent of Force Mars. Unaffected by spell cards or effects. Kind of random. While you control the Sanctuary in the sky, and your life points are higher than your opponent's, this card gains attack and defense equal to the difference. I do have a copy of Sanctuary in the Sky and Planet Pathfinder now, but this is not one of the agent cards that would make me want to actually try and play the deck. Don Yoribo Ad Ignister, not my first copy of that, and Armor Ninjutsu Art of Rust Mist. So, sort of a weak pack to leave things off with, but honestly, there's no shot that I could complain after all the interesting pulls this episode to kind of pour over. Well, that'll wrap it up for me. If you would like to keep up with the series, obviously subscribing is the way to do that. But either way, thanks so much for sticking with me and watching till the end here, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.